made so many mistakes learning sourdough. Let me save you time and money with a tutorial I wish I had. We are going to start by taking out our sourdough starter from the fridge in the early morning. I try to start this process by 8 a.m. We will need a second jar to build a fresh bubbly starter for our loaf. You'll be taking 25 grams of starter from your fridge, adding 125 grams of bread flour and 125 grams of filtered water. Make sure the jar has plenty of room for the flour and water mixture to potentially triple in size. Otherwise, we will end up having to transfer into a bigger jar later, which is no fun and just another mess to clean up. Stir really well with a fork, using your finger to scrape off any excess into the jar. Make sure to wipe the rim of the jar with a wet napkin before screwing back on the lid. Then you will mark the level of your inactive starter using a rubber band. This is important because this is what tells us when it's time to do the next step in the process. Traveling in a van, it can be tricky to control the varying temperatures. So my husband recently upgraded my process to use this foldable bread proofing box. Using the built-in timer, I can set it to a steady 81 degrees for 6 hours to ferment. While the loaf starter is fermenting in the box, I use this time to feed my fridge starter, which I named Doughy. I am feeding with 50 grams of bread flour and 50 grams of filtered water, then placing right back in the fridge. Once the timer reaches about 1 hour to go, or when the starter is almost double in size, we are ready to start the next step. Measure out about 500 grams of bread flour and about 310 to 325 grams of filtered water. Either using your hands or a dough hook mixer, bring the flour and water together into a smooth ball in the bowl. Add the bowl to the bread proofer if you have one, otherwise place it in your oven with the oven light on. This is what the dough should look like after resting for the last hour on the timer, and once the starter has officially doubled in size, we can go ahead and start our next step by adding 150 grams of the active starter to our flour and water dough ball. We are going to use the stretch and fold method to mix in the starter. It's going to take a few bowl turns to get it well incorporated, so be patient. Cover with a tea cloth before adding back into the oven or your bread proofer for another hour to rest. The next step of the process is to measure out 20 grams of salt. Try to use a high quality sea salt if possible. For this video, I am using Himalayan sea salt. Then go ahead and sprinkle the salt evenly over your dough. Then we are going to use the coil fold method to incorporate the salt as evenly as possible. You will feel the dough tighten as you coil fold around the bowl. Cover and return to the oven or bread proofer to bulk ferment for 4 to 6 hours. Here's what it should look like after the bulk ferment. Spread some flour onto a clean surface and pull the dough from the sides of the bowl onto your floured surface. Do some pension folds to tighten the dough inward and shaping back into a ball. Push aside the flour, picking up your dough and flipping over to then use the tension pull method to shape even further into a nice smooth dough ball. Let rest uncovered, fully naked on the floured surface. While we're waiting, we can go ahead and prepare our towel inside our Dutch oven, then coat with a generous layer of flour to prevent sticking. After the 20 minutes is up, gently poke into the dough ball and grab the sides, overlapping them together, then rolling tightly inward, starting at the end closest to you. You will go through the tension pull method again to shape back into a smooth ball before adding to your prepared Dutch oven and closing the lid over it. You'll notice I flipped the dough to put the smooth surface facing down. The reason we start this process so early in the morning is because it is now nighttime. Make room in the fridge to cool ferment overnight for at least 4 hours, but no longer than 14 hours. In the morning, take out your Dutch oven and prepare your surface with unbleached non-stick parchment paper. Then flip your dough back over again to make sure the smooth dome side is facing up. Use your hands to tuck in any pushed out sections to make the bread as round as possible. Heat up your oven to 450 degrees, then add your empty Dutch oven, including the lid, to warm up with it for 10 to 15 minutes. While we wait, let's prepare what we will need next, which is rice and water. Using a razor blade or bread lame, go ahead and score the bread with whatever design you like. Being careful with the hot Dutch oven, add the rice to create a protective layer at the bottom to prevent burning. Grab the edges of the parchment paper to carefully lift and drop into the hot Dutch oven. Pour the water to the outside of the dough by pulling aside the parchment paper. Quickly cover the bread with the Dutch oven lid to not let out any steam. Place back into the oven on 450 degrees for 50 minutes to an hour. Once it's done, it should be crispy on top and golden brown. Remove the parchment paper and let it cool somewhere for an hour before cutting into it to enjoy. I know it's hard to wait. Fun fact, you can reuse the rice in this recipe 5 to 7 times before tossing out to compost. Special fact, my grandpa was a woodworker and handmade this bread knife from scratch. Not only is it sentimental and just gorgeous, but it's also useful. We love to add cream cheese and fried eggs to our sourdough bread. What do you add? Thanks for watching this far. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more healthy DIYs.